I keep explaining to people, especially like if they have an accent, from my perspective as an English person, when anyone shows up with an accent from another country speaking English, and maybe there's a little bit that's not quite grammatically correct, or the tense is slightly out, I actually love it. And so they're thinking that's holding them back, but I find it more engaging, not from a, oh, this is a hard work, I've really got to concentrate, but it does this thing in my brain. I'm like, oh, I mean, even when you speak, there is a slight accent. I'm like, oh, that, and I always use the word exotic because I think it's just quite a nice way, because we always think that we're quite boring or very vanilla. And so when you show up as an exotic person, people pay attention just a bit more. And where we think that, you haven't got the tense right or something like that, people might go, oh yeah, but I not understand what they mean. They're not actually that critical about it, unless you have, a very strict person who is, absolutely, it must be said this way. Most people are very accepting of, these terms, and it actually is more engaging because, sometimes when you just hear, normal plain English, you go, "Oh, okay, fine." But then when you have to pay attention, it's much more interesting, and you actually take a lot more from it. So when I explain that to people who are maybe a bit nervous about being visible, and I don't know if they're using as an excuse, and I'm not trying to judge that. I can actually challenge that and say, no, for me, it's much better that you do that, and people will resonate with it.